I'm joined now by James Causey, who's been doing a remarkable series for us called What Happened to Us. James, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You have a new article that's coming out today. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's about?
Yeah, so what I did, I went back to my old elementary school, Samuel Clemens. I revisited third grade, and I wanted to find out what are some of the kids dealing with as far as some of the issues that, you know, typical kids deal with in school. So they pulled aside 5 kids, 4 girls and 1 boy from third grade. And so I expected to talk to them about bullying, which is a big issue in MPS and throughout the nation. And, you know, maybe problems with school, any other problems with school. But what I didn't expect is to get all of this feedback from them on trauma, like knowing someone who's been shot, knowing a parent who's been incarcerated, seeing violence in their neighborhood, hearing constant shootings and things like that, and sirens all the time. That was a little bit surprising. And one young lady, Nevaeh, her brother was shot the past week. He was shot on Wednesday. He died on Thursday. And when I did the interview, it was that following Monday, and she was in school that day. And when she said her brother got shot last week, when we were going around the table, I was like, what? You know, are you okay? Have you talked to anyone? And she said, well, I told my teacher this morning. And so it's that type of trauma that our kids are dealing with on a daily basis.
What surprised you most about your conversations with them? That is, I mean, that's shocking that she was back in school that fast and not really talking about it.
I guess it was a couple of things surprised me. One is that, you know, when I was talking to her, she said it matter-of-factly, like, my brother was shot last week and he's no longer with us. And when I heard it said like that from a child, it hit me, and I like, are you serious? And that was the first thing that popped into my mind. But I was also shocked by how much our kids are exposed to now compared to when I was in third grade, like 39 years ago.
Which is where you started your series, talking about your old third grade classroom.
Exactly. You know, 1978 was like so much different than, you know, today's kids. They deal with so much, and it's hard for them. And we expect these kids to bounce back from that type of tragedy, and it's hard. It's hard for us to even do it.
What are you hearing from experts about what children who experience that kind of trauma are facing?
Well, the main thing is that we can't expect our kids to bounce back that quickly. One expert basically said that when a kid experiences a traumatic episode like that, it's like their brain has been hijacked. So they're like in this trance. You know, they may go through the emotions and seem like they're okay in school, but they can't concentrate. They can't, you know, focus. They can't really wrap their minds around what actually is going on because they're dealing with all these other things outside of school. And it almost makes it impossible to teach a kid that's like that. So we really need intensive counseling for these kids going through this. And I'm not really sure if they're getting that because, like I said, the girl who experienced this said, well, I told my teacher. But that was really basically it. I mean, they have counselors that come in and talk to them, but that's a lot for a young person to deal with.
I think a lot of people think kids are so resilient, and they obviously are, but I don't think you can just expect a kid to just, you know, move on from something like that without really getting help.
Well, if it's tough for an adult, if we lost a sibling, imagine what it is for a kid. And, you know, I think we expect kids to be resilient because they're young. You know, they scrape themselves, they get better soon. Well, you know, the mind is a different type of thing. And, you know, when you have the trauma that you experience is actually to your brain. And for that healing process to take place, they really need a lot of intense counseling.
Thank you so much. I look forward to reading it. Thanks again.
Thank you.